Hi everyone, it's Miri Carbundance. What was that? Hi everyone, and welcome back to another food diary. One of the 365 food diaries that I am doing this year, all throughout the years, the days, and I do this for you to see what real recovery looks like and what quasi-recovery looks like, because too many people are settling for the yeah, I'm better, but I'm not there yet. I'm not mentally completely free state of mind and body, and that is not a nice place to be, because it usually comes with more weight, but mentally you haven't rewired everything you want to rewire, and so you're really not as free as you could be and as you want to be. And so I've been in that phase for far too long, and that's why I show you what I ate a year ago as an example of quasi-recovery and what I ate, what I eat now. Before I go into that, I go into I am reacting to myself, what I said about a year ago in a live stream, so you guys can see where my mindset shift is coming from. Also, please, from my heart to your heart, I would like you to check out my Patreon page. This is a page where you can support my work. It really is a full-time job, much more actually for me, and it comes from my heart. And maybe if you are someone who feels like you want to give back to me, then you can do that there. Even €1 per month will be highly appreciated. So we are going, also thumbs up, thumbs down, you know how to support work on YouTube. Okay, we're going into this directly. Okay, let me make this even better for you, the experience. Okay, and we're going to make it lighter.
Das natürlich gepaart ist mit einer Gesellschaft, die einfach dieses krass schönes Ideal hat, macht es natürlich nicht einfacher. Und da kommt dann natürlich...
I'm saying that this is coupled with a society that has that beauty ideal doesn't make it any easier.
Diese mentale Perspektive mit rein, dass...
And there it becomes mental as well, the eating disorder. Of course, it's also mental. But very often, the cause is not in the mental aspect, and I still stand by that so much, 100%.
In dieser Klinik mental nach etwas gesucht, was...
In my eating disorder treatment center, they've been looking at what went wrong mentally in my life that I had developed that eating disorder.
Es hat. Im Endeffekt war es aber...
In the end...
Also, im Endeffekt hat man eigentlich nichts Triftiges gefunden.
No one really found anything.
Ja, so kleinere Dinge, die mir nicht so leicht gefallen sind.
Well, maybe smaller things.
Ja,
for example, well, it doesn't really matter.
Aber, das ist... Im Nachhinein weiß ich heute...
Looking back...
Das ist so krass. Deswegen erzähle ich das heute, weil
and
eben
that's
gestern dieser
very
Tag
extraordinary.
War. Im Nachhinein war das bei mir hauptsächlich körperlich.
Looking back, it was really just physical for me.
Und jetzt bei meinem Rückfall eben in den letzten Jahren,
and now when I relapsed in the last years because of the parasite problem, I realized
ich muss einfach nur genügend essen, damit
I really just have to eat enough so it doesn't come back. And so I basically took what Tabitha Farah and psychologists like Shan Geisinger with the migration theory for anorexia are putting out and molded it into what I wanted to be, what I wanted to be true. I made my own kind of version of it, in that sense that I wanted it to be vegan, and I wanted it to be possible, with me doing it in a very healthy, whole food, natural way. And so I translated it for me, like actually my eating disorder kind of took that, like I know, so my real self saw this and I actually knew this is exactly what I need to do. There's no way around it. I have to get there. And then my eating disorder was still too strong, my fear too strong, that it kind of made something else like out of it, and it kind of changed many things. It made its own rules out of this thing, and that's so. What was the last second?
Realisiert.
I realized
Ich muss einfach nur genügend essen, damit das nicht
I just have to
zurückkommt.
eat enough so it doesn't come back. And so, yeah, I ate so much after my parasite experience where I had relapse because of that, because of the energy deficit. And that is what I came to understand here at that point of time, that had happened to me, and that the anorexia in my brain was purely activated due to the energy deficit. And I kind of really just felt it hard because I just wasn't able to just stop again, you know. I never asked for these thoughts to come back again. And so that was a real awakening moment for me. But then the fear of eating just anything, and, you know, my justification of I just want to be as ethical as I can be and am in my heart. So it just made that vegan kind of version out of it. And I thought in my mind, well, maybe it's also just enough to just eat enough. It's just about the calories. Just eat enough, get in the calories, like the mini-mod kind of things. But the thing is, when you're vegan and eating a lot of whole foods and a lot of healthy natural foods, then it is very, very hard, if not, I would say even impossible, to get enough calories after you've been in an energy deficit. You would really have to hone in on the processed foods, and I was getting in the calories with whole food. Like, believe me, I was a girl, I could eat. And I reached the mini-mod guidelines, but the thing is, you cannot, like, I thought I can just go for my extreme hunger and just, you know, eat more of these whole foods. But the thing is, you cannot eat enough calories in order to make up for the extreme hunger. Also, if you're very honest to myself, well, I can only speak for myself, but if I was very honest to myself at that point of time, what I really wanted was all of the things that I hadn't been eating for 8 years. Like all of the scariest things that my eating disorder could think of. And these happen to be non-vegan. If they were all vegan in this world, that would be a different thing. Then that could be possible to mentally 100% recover in a non-restrictive way. But the world, like, not all the foods in the world are vegan. And so that is the kind of the shift that I have from this live stream that I had there and that I have now. It's that it's not only about the calories. At one point, it really becomes like you cannot recover from a restrictive eating disorder by restriction. Restriction is restriction. And tomorrow I'm going into a comment that I got that no, it's not about restriction, it's a choice. Someone is arguing that, and I see very much where they are coming from, and I have a lot to say about that. I talked a lot about that with David as well, and it's a really interesting topic, so really that will be really great. But the point I want to make here is I had to come to realize, and I hadn't realized that there yet, that it's not only about eating enough. No, it's once it is mental, once you have the eating disorder, once you have the restriction going, once you have convinced your brain that we have to restrict, you cannot recover from it in a restrictive way, and you have to get rid of all of the fears and go against all of the fears. And yeah, more on that tomorrow. Okay, so what I ate a year ago, and don't click away, because if you want to recover, this is exactly what you need, okay? I do these for a reason. It is exactly what I would have needed to hear when I started here. And I thought I had started real recovery, but in reality I was still in quasi recovery. And so this is the usual soaking oatmeal and the coffee. We have another oatmeal and cheesecake here. Very much cheese on top, so it's basically vanilla soy yogurt. And so yeah, there will be different breakfasts coming also. This is going to change up, I think, tomorrow already. And I'm going through this. It looks yummy, but it's not the real thing. And it's not only about the calories. I was getting in the calories here, no problem at all. But, you know, still had all of these rules in my mind. Like the eating disorder was only fine with the calories as long as I was eating as healthy as possible and whole foods, everything, yeah, as anyhow possible. And yes, I was super proud of this fake cheesecake. And so this is the banana ice cream I usually have. Like, this is the chocolate sauce and the soy flakes in one. I'm not going to go into that as well. I can only recommend you to watch all of the What I Eat videos before, because you know exactly why I ate this banana ice cream then all of the time. And so this was pasta again. I've been challenging the pasta the 2 nights before as well. And unfortunately it was also weighed, like, but it was pasta. And it was my kind of my first steps to find out, well, is it really that way that more processed food doesn't satisfy me or doesn't make me full enough? So these were my very first steps. Spoiler, going far beyond, like going to here, to now, to this moment today. It doesn't matter how whole food a meal is or how healthy a meal is, it still, like, it does make you full and it does satisfy you. I was so afraid that my body would not know how to handle a more processed food, let alone ultra processed food. And I will go a lot about ultra processed food as well. There's so many, like, there are quite a few very, very informative articles about why ultra processed food is not the devil as so many people think, and as my eating disorder made me think, made me believe. Yeah, I'd even go as far as saying it might be your very, very best friend, and we might very, very, very well be adapted physically and physiologically to ultra processed food. But that's another video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that, because I tailor these video topics to your needs. And also thumbs up or down if you're enjoying this video. This is Brussels sprouts and kind of a vegan bolognese kind of sauce with soy flakes. And so all of the January I was very much into adding more fats, adding more proteins. That's what the whole soy flake was about, soy flake thing. And it was very much because I had been purchasing in the December, like a month before, the program of A Way to Healthy, and she kind of helped me get over the fear of protein and fats. So I credit that here, but that's about it, because the rest of the program was very much, I know it's not what she wanted, but it very much fed my eating disorder thoughts, because it was so overly hyper focused on as whole food as possible, and also the fats as whole food as possible, also the protein as whole food as possible. And yes, I get it, micronutrients and stuff, but that's not what helped me become free. If at all, there were just new rules around, yeah. Like, you know, it's always a compromise. And I've been doing this for 18 years, like looking for more freedom, but then in return I got different rules, or rules in other areas of diet and stuff. And so, yeah, just some thoughts here. this is the avocado or sunflower seed dip as well. Yeah, and this was whole grain pasta. But yeah, it's, you know, flour. The pasta is made of flour and it gets more absorbed. The calories are more readily absorbed by the body and whatnot. And it's like we have to pay attention and take care that we have to, yeah, I acted like I have to enable my body to be able to handle this well and to tell me exactly when I had enough. I was not trusting my body in telling me that I've had enough. And you know why? Because I hadn't gone through extreme hunger yet. My energy deficit was not restored yet. And I was not at my healthy body weight that I can maintain effortlessly without any restriction. And so that is the reason why I had the feeling I could not trust my body. Maybe that is the same way for you. So yeah, this was actually, if you go on the time of the photo, it's in the middle of the night. It's at 2 a.m. And I was hungry. I couldn't sleep. And so I knew, well, that means I have to eat something. But I wasn't ready at that time to actually, you know, eat a few food. So this was what I ate in the night at that time. It's basically banana and apple and cinnamon, which is, yeah, horrifyingly whole food. Like, and I'm not against whole food. I love whole foods, okay? I want everyone to get me right. But the thing is, this is not recovery food. You need to be challenging yourself all of the time in order to get rid of the fears. As soon as you get rid of the fears, the sooner you are going to be recovered. And the chance, if you're taking it too slow, is just too high that you are going backwards instead of forward. And I want you guys to get the real recovery, not the quasi pseudo recovery. Yeah, and you know, this was not what I was craving then in the night, okay? If you guys know these feelings, getting up in the night, you cannot sleep, you're hungry, your brain thinks of donuts and cake and all of these things and desserts and chocolate and crisps and all of these things. Why the heck did I make an apple and banana cinnamon? Well, because my eating disorder still convinced my brain enough that this is what we have to do in order to be healthy. We cannot just fall down the other side and become unhealthy physically, right? Yeah, still not there yet, but I will be. I will be, like I am now, but I'm talking from this time. Like, as you see throughout the year, what I ate a year ago, this will change. This is a screenshot. You would never rip up a seed and label it a failure if it didn't blossom overnight. So why do you do it to yourself? If this helps you, write it down, hang it up on the wall, and read this to yourself. Because yeah, we have to be patient, but at the same time in recovery we need to be persistent. We need to be challenging non-stop in order to get where we want to be at some point. But at the same time have patience, but do something every day, okay? Do not stop taking a step further. You can see here, even though I had baby steps, I challenged more every day and something else every day. Without these steps, nothing would have gone better. So, that is very interesting because I was actually craving something like mac and cheese. This is a recipe for vegan mac and cheese. It's from the account You Did Pumpkin Love. I can only recommend that account. It's really great for vegan recipes. Very, very yummy, but I was kind of, it's like, you know, food porn, right? It's like, I'm so hungry, I want to eat this, but I'm so scared, and this is what I looked at while I was eating my apple and banana cinnamon wannabe cake, right? That's really important to know. So this was what I ate a week ago. It is a bun with these kind of, what do you say, marshmallow things with chocolate, and the other half is with bacon and butter. There's also butter under this marshmallow thing. And actually, you know, we did it as children. We just took a bun, had one of these chocolate coated marshmallows, and that was kind of the thing we had on a bun. But I even had one on half of a bun, because my brain was like, well, we want more, like we want more of that thing. We want more marshmallow than the bun. And then I also had persimmon and tomato. Yeah, love persimmon so much. These took literally like 1 month to actually get ripe. so sad. Yes. Okay, I added more peanut butter and cacao powder. Some lettuce here for the freshness. And this is so satisfying, guys. Yeah, the peanut butter on top, more cacao powder on top. I love everything chocolate. Then also peanut butter on the marshmallow and cacao powder thing. This is a screenshot I took a week ago. You are not a machine. You are more like a garden. You need different things on different days. A little sun today, a little less water tomorrow. You have fallow and fruitful seasons. It is not a design flaw. It is wiser than perpetual sameness. What does your garden need today? Yes, we all need to hear this. I think that we are not a machine. We are more like a garden. What does our garden need today? What does your garden need today? And I think that's also where so many eating disorder fears originate from, because we have the eating disorder just wants to control everything because it doesn't trust the body. It wants to control the body. And then so how can we be a garden if the eating disorder tries to say exactly how things have to be? And so no wonder that our garden is ruined over the time, because the garden decides what it needs, okay? It's organic. It cannot be controlled. It is. It just is, and it is how it is. And it is what it is. And so I think that's a really cool perspective. I hope this helped you. This was, okay, this is a really crappy photo, but I remember that it was a bun that David made himself, and it's with vegan Nutella, I think, and cashews, exactly, cashews. And he was eating it, and I was like, can I try? It just looked so great and so yum, such a cool idea. And it basically tasted like a Nutella cashew kind of Snickers bar. Really, really yummy. And that's really special for me, because there were no, can I try this here or there? It was just like, well, I stick to my meals. It's not healthy to eat between the meals, and it's extra calories, and I cannot track them and whatnot. Like, so rigid. And this is not me. It's the eating disorder. And if you have that as well, I encourage you today, if you have someone that you live with or so, or do it any other day in the week, if you get into a moment where you are seeing something that someone, a friend or so eats, of course, not a stranger or something, and then you're like, well, do you mind if I try some? Just because you want it, you're real you, and the eating disorder is screaming at you, and you do it anyway, and this is going to be so freeing for you. And then you're going to message me on Instagram and tell me about that, and we're going to celebrate that. I'll be there. Okay, this was the other half of the pizza that I had the day before, the pasta pizza. And yeah, put some mushrooms on top and some Brussels sprouts and soy yogurt and tzatziki, and I also have bell pepper and cucumber there and some peanut butter. I mean, is there anything that peanut butter doesn't go with? I don't think so. Yeah, super yummy. Okay, another screenshot. I think this is so great, and I think this is going to help many of you. This says, what do you think food freedom will look like? And then you see all the chocolate, pasta, fries, pizza, donuts, waffles, cake, muffin, cookies and stuff, and ice cream. And I also thought that, I thought, well, if I give myself freedom to eat whatever I want, then this is going to be what I eat, non-stop, all day, for the rest of my life. You know why that is? It's because your brain thinks it is in a famine. That's why. And it is going to change. And I would not have believed that when I was in that place, but it is going to change. Well, let me tell you, this is what it kind of may look like when you are in the extreme hunger phase. But when you get through that and you gain back the trust of your body, then it will look like this. You know, all of the foods. You love the more whole food foods and you love the ultra processed foods, and you love a mix of all of them. And what it will actually look like. Yes, in the long term it will look like this. And if you would have told me that, I would have laughed at you because I wouldn't have believed you. But I can reassure you that this is how it is, and it happens with me, and it happened with me, and I hope this helps you to know. Let me know if you like these screenshot episodes in my videos, because they make the videos longer. I had some chocolate that was left over from the Milka huge bar, and then later, I think this was at night, we had some kind of potato flour noodles, gnocchi style, and with broccoli, and it's fried like with oil and mushrooms and cashews and onions and a lot of garlic, you bet. Okay, you didn't see the things before. Yummy. Extremely satisfying with soy yogurt. Yeah, this is the last one. No, I'm actually going to go into that in a different video by itself. Okay. It's actually about body fat percentage for women, so stay tuned for that. Please, please, please don't forget to check out my Patreon page and also all of the infos I put into the info box for you guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down, you know how it goes. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.